Many people who spend a significant amount of time around Grace of the Lord Church starts to call us a church family. We do all feel like we're family here. For many in our congregation, we're all the family we've got. And we just love each other so much, it really does feel like a family. All our visitors have a tendency to say that they felt welcomed and that our church is a family to them, felt like family. And so our membership process reflects that. Becoming a member of Grace of the Lord Church is not about, membering up at some club or some organization. It's you identifying yourself as a Grace of the Lord Church family member. And we would love for you to join the family as an adopted member and become a part of the team. And so a family member is somebody who says, I belong at Grace of the Lord Church as a family member. And we would love to walk you through what that means. So a family member in your household, you probably have some characteristics that you share, right? So you probably look a little bit like your brothers and sisters or your parents. There's some similar characteristics that you share. And for Grace of the Lord, as a church family member, it's going to be the same way. As all the members of Grace of the Lord Church are going to have some similar characteristics that we share. Those characteristics include, one, we're all saved believers who have adopted the same statement of faith, which you can discover here on this webpage. We're all baptized believers. We've all gone through the symbolic ceremony of baptism, and we're also contributing to Grace of the Lord Church. We're sharing in the costs of the household, right? Just like any responsible adult does. When you live together, you chip in on the expenses. And we also share in the household chores, right? Just like any responsible adult does. You share in the household chores. And we also try our best to represent Jesus well in the community. There's going to be some things that we're going to fall short on. Nobody's expecting perfection here, but nevertheless, we are living out the life that a mature Christian disciple would when Jesus Christ has matured us accordingly. And so, if that describes you, then you're able to become adopted as a Grace of the Lord Church family member. And if you would say, hey, Grace of the Lord Church is my family, but those things don't describe me. Well, it doesn't mean that you're not a part of the family. It just means that you'd be more extended family, right? So instead of like brothers and sisters who all look the same, the non-member who calls us family is going to say, well, more like cousins, right? There's some family characteristics that we share, but we don't share enough to be considered close family, right? And we can be close relationally to our cousins, but we won't be as close biologically to our cousins. Our Grace of the Lord Church family, we have these characteristics in common, and so we share some stuff. Just the DNA is very close. Whereas the people who are in the family, but we don't share as much of the same characteristics, we can still be close and love each other the same, but nevertheless we look pretty differently. And that stuff usually comes in the category of giving, serving, and the statement of faith stuff. People saying, I'm just not fully into this Jesus story, and there's some things I just don't believe, and that affects how they live their life and their values. But nevertheless, we want to love on everybody all the same. And so if you're feeling like, hey, when you described what a Grace of the Lord Church family member looks like, that describes me, I want to get in on that, then you can. We run what we call Discovering Belong class. It's kind of our version of a membership class. We do that at least once a year. And so you could always be looking at our events calendar to see when that is. It's not required for membership, but it's an opportunity for you to get answers to the most frequently asked questions like, what's your church history? How do you govern the church? How do you guys handle money? What's the ins and outs, the nuts and bolts, that sort of stuff. And so you can get all those same answers without the membership class or the Discovering Belong class. We make the curriculum, the book, the workbook available on the same webpage. So you can just click on that, open it up, read through all the same stuff. We also keep recordings of those classes available for you to listen to. So you can go through that any old time you like. And just whenever you're ready, you let me know, and then I'll walk you through your next steps. And if you are on the leadership pathway, if there's going to come a day where you feel like you're called to lead in our church, this membership process is your first step on the leadership pathway. And so we do it this way because it creates a filter so that nobody who is leading in our church is doing so without a very healthy, spiritually mature attitude towards the values of Jesus Christ. And so if you're on the leadership pathway, you might be watching this because this is your first step in the direction of you answering the calling of God in your life. But regardless of why you are considering membership here, I am very flattered, absolutely honored, and humbled to be able to serve you and empower you and invest in you and to call you part of our church family. I love you. Thank you. I'll see you later.